Hey everybody, great to see you this morning. I am thrilled that you're here. I'm thrilled that you showed up again on this beautiful, beautiful day. This whole week we're working on acupressure points. And acupressure points are parts of your body that are associated with different thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and we can affect how we feel, whether it's mentally, physically, or emotional, through different parts of our body. That's because, when you think about something being wrong, it's really multifaceted. And the only type of medicine I found that really addresses this multifaceted way of looking at things is Asian medicine. So I went the whole shiatsu massage route where how do we control how we feel through the body? But some people, through Asian medicine, help manage how people control through their mind or how people control through their emotions. I like to focus on the body because it's my favorite gateway, because it's all about things that I feel I can physically do, things that I can feel. I'm a very kinesthetic sort of person. Um, Hey, Kathy. Other times people can use things that they see, which will affect them, or things that they hear, which will affect them. And those are all gateways. That's the really great thing, not about Asian medicine, but about the body in general. We are so interconnected. Everything about us is so interconnected within ourselves and also with our environment that you don't have to just find one way in order. Hey, Deb, you don't have to find one way to move you in a positive direction. I like acupressure and massage and things like that because, as I said, I'm a very feeling sort of person. But if you're more of a visual person, you might consider something like feng shui. If you're more auditory person, you might consider something like healing medicines or auditory books or lectures or teachers. So I love things that I feel. So I'm very, very attracted to stuff like acupressure. Hey, Geneva. So for the last 10 years or so, that's really been my deep dive. How do we use the physical? How do we use the things around us to affect how we feel? To affect all the aches and pains that we have, affect our mental state, our energetic state. What can we do? And so acupressure is a quick, easy, cheap, always available, no matter where you're at, sort of thing that you can use, and it'll dial down the noise just a little bit. Now, today we're talking about fatigue. Now, one of the biggest problems I've always had with fatigue is that when I'm tired, I don't want to do anything. I just want to stare at the wall. I don't want to move. I want to watch television. I want to watch the squirrels run. And that's the thing with fatigue is there's all these things you should do in order to give yourself energy that will make you feel better, but you just don't have the energy to do them. You don't have the energy to go for to get up and go for the walk. You don't have the energy to cook something that's healthy. You just don't have the energy for that. And so here's the trick. The neat thing about acupressure is that you can do it. It takes virtually no energy to rest your hand on these points. You don't have to do anything exciting or interesting with them. And then when you start to feel better, you need to use that momentum to start making better choices. Because acupressure alone will not fix things. But what it will do is it will start to move you forward. It will start to break the pain pattern. Hey, Maytui, great to see you. It'll start to break your pain pattern and it'll give you the break and the breath that you need. Hey, Carrie, so that you can get up and start to take a walk, so that you can do your breathing things. So acupressure isn't the cure-all, but what it is it's an easy, fast first step that will start to give you the energy that you need so that you can make the better choices that move you along the path. Now, the neat thing about acupressure points is they also have beautiful metaphorical names. Now, there's a reason for this. In all ancient medicines and all indigenous medicines, they understood the importance of the metaphor. the importance of the symbolism. And so, let's give an example for, I'll use church as an example. If you were to walk into a church, you'd really just be walking into a building. So what? It could be the same thing as walking into a warehouse or walking into Costco or Walmart or whatever it may be. You're walking into a building. But what makes the building powerful are the names and the symbolism and the metaphors that are around it. Those metaphors, those words help open us up. They help us, they empower, and they give more juice and more life to whatever it is that we're doing. So when we give something a beautiful name, a name that affects us on an emotional level or on an intellectual level, it actually gives whatever you're doing more power. And that's the beautiful thing about, one of the beautiful things about Asian medicine is they understood that. You don't just call this, you don't just give it a letter and a number, you give it a beautiful name. Because when you give this point that you're working a name that inspires you, it just adds to the power of it. So chronic fatigue and exhaustion is something very, very common anymore. It's because we're overwhelmed, we're overstimulated, we have fallen off of our edge, and we've made a lot of poor choices. The choices that keep us in that rat race of feeling exhausted, the sugar and the caffeine and the processed foods, and they're the easiest things to do, and they also keep us stuck. And that's why when you use acupressure to get the ball rolling again, to get you motivated and to help break the pain cycle, that's when you capitalize on that. You take that time and you then use it to move yourself in a positive direction. When I work with women, when they come in and I work with them, what tends to happen is they leave and they feel great. They finally feel relaxed. They finally feel better. Things are cleared. Now, my job was to give them that break, to help them refill their well. But now their job is to take that space they have of, hey, I feel good. Hey, I feel energized. I feel relaxed, and to make the most of it. If you make the most of the time after you do things like acupressure or body work, if you make the most of that time, then you'll keep spiraling up. It just won't be a one and done. Oh, I feel better. Now I'm going to cruise. I'm going to coast on this until I start to crash again. That's not the best way to use acupressure. The best way is to use it to get you motivated, to get you moving in the right direction. And then once you do that, to use, the tricks and the tools and the things that will keep you going, that'll keep you moving in the direction that you want to do. I like to call it setting yourself up for success. So what are the points? We'll go from the top down on the front, and then we'll move to the back, okay? One of the first ones, which most of you may be familiar with, is the third eye. The third eye is also your pituitary, your pineal gland is behind your third eye. And so when you massage it, it feels really good. It starts to calm you down. It may even be tender. So what rubbing your third eye does is it starts to activate deeper parts of your brain and get them woken up again, get them stimulated again. Because we tend to have fatigue because our brain starts to shut down, a special mental fatigue. We've been pushing it too hard and it's shut down and it's not getting the nourishment that we need. So when we do this acupressure point, it starts to wake it up. It starts to tell ourselves that, oh yeah, we can do this, we can think. Because we all know when you use something, it gives it more life. So this one, just a few minutes, third eye, it's your intuition, it's looking beyond. It's a great point. You can use 1 or 2 fingers, as I said, it may be tender, and you can massage it for a few minutes. The other nice thing about it is if you get those lines between your eyes, if you also massage them, you can massage some of those lines out because those lines are muscles. Hey, Jordan. Those lines are muscles that you're chronically tensing up, and when you relax those muscles, then it starts to relax those lines too. So this is a multi-purpose point. It not only helps you wake up your spiritual self through your pineal gland, but it also helps get rid of the facial wrinkles that you have. Okay? Cool. Next point, which is a cool point. It's here, and you'll feel this probably tender here. This is called letting go. Have you ever had someone press on these points, and what it does is it makes you feel safe. It makes you feel protected. It makes you, if you've got trauma in your past, it can make you, remind you of the trauma. I do totally get that. But if you don't, it gives you a felt sense of everything's going to be okay. It's that pressing down on the chest, just right on the two sides. As I said, you can use your palm. You don't have to get obsessive about this stuff. You just need to get in the general area. And you can use your palm and massage it. You'll be surprised. It's probably pretty tender too. These points are tender because they are not getting the life that they need. They're not getting the nervous system signals in the blood and the lymph that they need. So these 2 points, these letting go points, are really great. Just a couple minutes, it'll stimulate you. It'll help you feel a little bit more energized. Okay, next point. Down by the belly button. This one is called the Sea of Energy. In Asian medicine, your abdomen is your hara. It's your center. It's where your life force lives. It's where your power comes from. And so you want to stimulate your power place. It's also where, the bacteria in your intestines are and all that good stuff. So you find your belly button, okay? There's mine. You go 3 fingers below, all right? 3 fingers below your belly button, and that's the right point. Hey, so you can massage that point, and that'll get in there, and that'll start to massage your abdomen, massage your digestive system, because we all know when our digestive system is off, all of us we feel sluggish, we feel like we can't move, we feel bloated. So massaging that point, 3 fingers below your belly button, will help stimulate your digestive system, okay? So that'll help a lot too. That'll help with fatigue and not feeling so heavy. Okay, the next one is on your leg. This one's called 3 Mile. All right, it helps you run 3 miles. All right, here we go. Find your knee. You go 3 fingers below your knee, and then you go outside, just to the outside between that big muscle and your shin bone. You know it's the right spot because if you move your foot, you'll feel the muscle move underneath it. So that point, you find your knee, 3 fingers below your knee, and a little bit to the outside of your leg. That helps get energy and stimulation back into your legs. Because when your legs feel vibrant, you feel like you can move. You feel like you're ready to get things done. And if you use that point to feel like, oh, my legs feel more alive, that's when you get up and you do more things to keep them alive, to keep them feeling good. Okay, the next one on your foot, it's on the top of your foot. And I don't remember what this one is called. I think it's rushing waters, but I'm not sure. I'm probably wrong. Okay, so here's your foot. You want to find a spot right about there between these toes, and you can use a couple fingers. I always do, okay? I always use a few fingers and get right in there. All right, and that gets your feet moving. That gets everything in your feet feeling better. So if you do that, then you'll want to start moving. You'll want to start walking around. That's the whole point. We work these points to get us to do more, not to solve the problem, but to motivate us, to give us just enough of a boost, just enough of a push to do something. So that's a great point on our feet. All right, now we're going to go to the back side of you. And this is the gate of consciousness. Now, you can't really see it much, but I'm going to talk about it. So if you go to the base of your skull, and you go right kind of below the base of your skull, and then on either side of your skull. Now you can actually go, oh good, I'm glad, Kathy, I'm glad you like them. You actually can, press all along, that hole right underneath your skull. There's no right way or wrong way to really do this. So if you massage the base of your skull, it's going to help your head feel better. It's going to help your face feel better. All these muscles back here at the base of your skull are associated with your eyes. That's why it's called the occiput, because they're associated with the occipital muscle in your eyes. They're also associated with your face. So when you relax and work on these muscles right at the base of your head, it starts to relax your face. It starts to get blood there. It starts to relax your eyes. And when you can relax this, it means that blood can get there and re-energize it. It also means that your brain can get blood too. A lot of brain fog that people get, and I get a lot of women who have brain fog. A lot of brain fog is associated with not getting enough blood and energy and life into your head. And so when you work these points, hey Doug, when you work these points, either by massaging the whole thing or working specific points on the back of your neck, on the gateways of consciousness, then blood and nervous system signals and lymph and everything else can get into your brain. You get life force into your head. And it helps take away the brain fog. It helps you feel better overall. Okay, the last one that we're going to do today, I don't remember what this one is called either, but it's in your lower back. If you make sure, if you go just to your lower back, let's see if I can do it. Right down here, right kind of where you're, where it always hurts. If you work these points back here, it'll help get out some of that fatigue. A lot of times when people have got back pain, they think there isn't anything they can do about it, and so they put, icy hot on it or whatever. If you do some acupressure on it, if you massage it with your palms, if you massage it with your fingers, or even, what I used to do, I remember one time I was in the airport waiting for, I was with my husband, we were waiting for the flight to load. And my back was killing me, and I was tired because of it. It totally wore me out. I leaned up against a garbage can, the rim of the garbage can. It was this, metal garbage can. And I did acupressure on my lower back using the garbage can so that it could relax those muscles. It could open up the blood vessels. It could relieve some of that achiness that was making me feel so tired. And it could really get life back into my lower back. So believe it or not, if you do acupressure or massage using just about anything, you don't have to have somebody do it for you. You can find something to lean against, a tennis ball, a racquetball, a chair, something just to get some pressure on those points in your lower back. It will help you feel less fatigued. Now, if you do a lot of these points, already just doing these points this morning, I'm feeling more energized. I'm feeling like life force is moving again. So in Asian medicine, energy is life force. It's when you feel like your things are flowing, like blood is flowing, like you're getting circulation, like movement is happening in your body. That is energy. That's life force. And so when you do things to get some life back into your body, to get things moving, that gives you just enough motivation in order to start doing the things that make you feel better. Okay? So you might want to keep this video because it's got a lot of good points. And comment, share, love, like. It keeps me motivated. Comment on other people's stuff. And let's be a really great support system for everybody. So the more you share this, the more you like it and love it and comment on it, the more we can get this wisdom out to each other. Because when we feel better, here's my philosophy. When we feel good, then we make better choices. So if we can help as many people as possible feel good, including ourselves, if we can help ourselves feel good, and we can help the people we love feel good, and we can help the people who are in our circle, we come into contact with feel good, if we can do that, then the world feels better. Our world that we're creating feels better. Okay? So you have a lot of power to affect how other people feel. And one of the ways you do that is by sharing this video so more people are empowered. Okay, so it's a beautiful day here. I'm looking forward to the rest of it. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay, bye.